It's a day called today. We're talking guitars and life. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Well, we did it, my friends. We have a colored neck on my Tease SBH edition. Let's talk about it. Well, if you hang out on the channel, what you know is that I wanted to put some color on the back of my SBH Telecaster, my Tease guitar. This is one of my favorite guitars. I picked this guitar up from Tease. It was one of the first production models that was ever sent to Tease Guitars. It was a project guitar that they had laying around the shop, and I snagged this bad boy up. I ain't never looked back, Jack. It was a project guitar, but I know how to do the things I need to do to make it into a great guitar, which it is right now, man. I love everything about this guitar. I like the way it feels. I like the way it plays. I like the way it sounds. I'm even digging the humbucker in the bridge, man. For when I want to get a little bit loud with it, if you know what I'm saying. But one of the things about me that we probably haven't ever talked about on the channel much, because so many of the guitars that I've reviewed, so many of the guitars that I've talked about have all been Tele or Strat style guitars, most of which that have had a maple fretboard. And not just a maple fingerboard, but the back of the necks were also maple. But if you were to glance over at my guitar rack here, you would see a couple of things. Well, we'll start with the FireFly. So one of the things that I love about the FireFly now, after doing a lot of work to it, is I love that fingerboard, man. I love that rosewood. I dig the inlays. The back of it looks cool as well. And then if you looked at my other guitars, you'd see a couple Squier Classic Vibes. You see that dark, rich neck that those have. And then we get to the Visor ST, that TEMU guitar. All these guitars are in the playlist below if you want to check them out. And it's got kind of a nice rich color on the neck as well. And then you get over to my Tease guitars and you just kind of washes out. Now guys, look, I get it, man. Everything, and I'm saying everything about guitar playing is player preference, man. So if you dig a nice maple fingerboard, rock on with your bad selves, man. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying, for me, I do prefer rosewood, and if I can't get rosewood, I do prefer a roasted maple neck or something that with some color on it, man. When I look down on the guitar, I want to see a little something something. That's just me being me talking to you about my journey. That's all this channel has ever been. Those of you who hang out with me know that. And oh, by the way, if this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome. Come back anytime and hang out with us at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. So I spent 2 videos attempting, keyword attempting, to use this wood stain, this water-based wood stain from Saman on my guitar, and it did not work. I just could not get this guitar neck to take the stain. And I'm not going to go into all that. You can look at the playlist below and you can see the journey. Just look for the vids that are posted water-based stain and you'll hear the journey. And man, I did a lot of talking in those vids, which I often do. Hey, the channel is called Ted Talks Guitars. Keyword is talks. A lot of cool stories in those vids, man. Check it out if you got the time or the patience or just want to come along the journey with me. But I spent 2 videos, 2 failed attempts to use only this Saman odorless wood stain, this water-based, supposed to be one coat, does not raise the wood grain, blah, 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 odorless, all the things, man. Did not work for me. I resorted to using Minwax. This is Gunstock 231 is the name of the color. And then I put some Tru-Oil on top of all that. Now, candidly, guys, I ended up using the Gunstock 231, and then I went back and I did add, or attempted to add, a little bit more color with the Canadian Maple water-based stain, and then did the old true grit, the old Tru-Oil finish, using some 3/0 steel wool in between coats. So I have finally arrived at the neck color that I didn't necessarily think it would look this way, but I do think I've landed in a cool spot. For me, man, when I look at that, I don't know what it looks like for you as you're watching the vid, and I know it's not perfect. I got a spot down here. I didn't realize that part of the heel would show, truthfully. The other thing is, I really don't care, but seeing it in context, man, I just like looking down and having some flavor, having some color, seeing a little something, something. It doesn't add anything to the guitar. It doesn't add any sound quality. It doesn't play any better or any worse. It is what it is. But for me, I like that look. I like to be able to look down and see the color, and there's just something about it, man. That FireFly guitar, something about playing that guitar, the way the neck looks to me, I don't know, man, it does something to me. And I always say, man, if a guitar sounds good to your ears, which this guitar does, and if a guitar feels good in your hands, which this guitar does, and when you look at it, you want to pick it up and play it, when I look at this neck, man, it's appealing to me. I want to play it. That's a great guitar, man. And the only thing that really matters, I'll tell you a secret about guitars right now, and I'm talking about, it don't matter the cost, it don't matter the brand name, it doesn't matter what anybody's got to say about it, man. The best guitar that you can own is the guitar you're going to play. That's it, hands down. You can buy whatever you want, but if you ain't playing it, what's the point, man, right? So I've been loving just playing this guitar. I loved playing it before I did the color to it. I dig it now. She plays great, she sounds great, and I think it looks fantastic. So what I decided to do, since the vids about the water-based stain were so long and I was so long-winded, although I think, man, some great stories and just some fellowship time, what I decided to do, what's going to follow this is like all of 3.5 minutes of the entire project of me throwing this Gunstock stain on it with a little splash of this color and some Tru-Oil. So if you want to stick around and watch the process, it'll be a quick ride, man. It'll be a quick ride. Now, I've still got to figure out, am I going to tackle this fingerboard? Do I have what it takes to attempt to stain this a little bit to get this darker? I don't know, man. Hey, put in the comments what you think. No, don't do that. I don't care really what you think. It's about whether or not I got the fortitude, Jack, to take that on, man. But yeah, I'm just sharing my journey with you, man. It's all this channel has ever been. So I just wanted to give you an update on what the guitar neck ended up looking like. If you endured the previous vids, man, I hope it was worth the journey for you. Maybe you're thinking about doing something like this to your guitar, and maybe if nothing else, man, you can learn from my mistakes what not to do, Jack. So yeah, man, thanks for being on this journey with me. I hope it was a good ride for you, man. What's going to follow next, again, is the very quick overview. Fast forward with me playing guitar, and nobody comes to TED Talks Guitars in Life to hear me pick. But going to be a little bit of music and a little bit of fast forward action. Let's do it, Jack. and I think it's looking much better than the other product looked. And we are on our way to me having the darker, richer neck color that I was looking for. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that looks smoking hot, Jack. I just wanted a splash of color, man. After several attempts, here we go. So this is basically Gunstock oil and just a little touch of Canadian maple from here and there on the back of that neck. Man, I just want to look down and see a little love, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of that creamy goodness, chick. Alright, man, thanks for hanging out with me. Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Rock on with your bad selves, everybody. We'll catch you down the road. Color on the back of my SBH. Nope. See, man, it's not perfect. I don't know what it looks like where you are. I'm looking at it in the monitor over here to try to get a feel for what you're seeing exactly. And it's amazing, man. I don't really see what you guys see until I post the vids and go back and look at them. And then I'm like, dude, that looked pretty good. There was 3 times in the wood stain vids where I said to myself, dude, if you had stopped right there, let that mess dry for a few hours and then go back and anyway, man, you live and learn, or maybe you just live. Anyway, man, I just like catch you down the road, man. Don't say catch you down the road. That's the tagline, Dutchie. That goes at the end of the vid, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Crazy dog. Haha. What do you think, Dutchie?
Oh, I think it's a keeper, man. I wouldn't change a thing about that.
Not one thing, huh?
I wouldn't change one thing, man. I thought it was... I laughed. I teared up a little bit one time. I mean, it was really kind of fun video. I really was digging it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, bro. Enjoyed that, Jack.
I really did, Poppy. I thought it was a fantastic video. I thought your presentation was delicious.
Delicious? Wow.